Part 2 of the 1500 horsepower SLC. We're going to take a look at the engine and the interior on this car. So the engine itself is an LSX iron block 427 K-Tech built race engine. It's got a fast intake and custom made headers which sweep over towards the front of the car and then over onto the Borg-Warner twin turbos. And then the exhaust from there heads out right out of the rear clam. A lot of complicated parts to this car. It's got wastegates. The turbos are oil and water cooled. There's an air to water heat exchanger and air to water intercoolers up front, 2 of them. The fuel system starts with a MagnaFlow lift pump, which supplies the surge tank right here, which then flows out to the Holley VR2 brushless fuel pumps down there. The Holleys have control modules which allow each one to flow either on high or low, and the Holley Dominator ECU controls how fast the fuel pumps are flowing. Even though they're brushless, you don't want them going full blast all the time, heating up the fuel any more than it needs to be. You see there's a remote fuel filter on here. You got a scavenger pump in there, bringing the oil back from the turbos. Oil pressure regulator on the oil line going into the turbos so that you don't overpressurize those and end up pumping the oil into the intake. The system, the oiling system, is a daily dry sump system. The dry sump tank is tucked right in there. And the daily system has its own pump mounted on the front of the engine and has an elaborate collection system and oiling system with its pan. Can't really crawl under there to show you, but it's a nice, real nice billet piece, polished up and real flat. You see the car has Penske shocks all the way around. And these are the nitrogen-filled reservoirs right there, and they're almost infinitely adjustable. Transaxle is a Graziano 6-speed with major drop gears. 4th gear will give you 193 miles an hour, and 6th gear an estimated 275. The car has the power to do that. It will need a little more downforce up front if it's going to hold that kind of power or keep it from lifting up. So that's the engine bay. You see the tail is in the upright position now. And when that's up, the wing hinges back. And you can just put a little padding on the hinge mount so the tail can rest on that. And you'll see the monster Brembo brakes sitting there. Starting out with the interior, you see the doors have door panels on the inside. Usually we refer to them as the door cards. They have some shape to them, and they're covered in Alcantara leather. And the panel down here has custom stitching to go in there and orange piping to match the exterior. It's got the carbon fiber tillet seats, again with the orange stitching. some orange race harnesses to match that. A little accent piece on the center console, and that's the gated shifter from the Audi R8. Got an OMP steering wheel. The dash is covered with Alcantara and carbon fiber. And the roll bars are covered in a carbon fiber also. It has the Raptor Pro push button wireless system, and each button coordinates to different controls: parking lights, windshield wipers, hazards, signal lights, horn, etc. The switch panel is a carbon fiber panel. And it controls many things, including opening the doors. There's a remote for the doors also. You have a electric parking brake. There's a race mode and a street mode for the amount of boost that the computer will allow the engine to do. Race mode will give full 25 psi boost. Street mode will allow it to go up to 8 pounds of boost. 8 pounds still gives almost 900 horse, so it's plenty. The up and down is the lift system, which raises the front end, going over speed bumps or putting it on a trailer. Let's turn on the ignition. Well, we will turn it on after we turn the main power on. There's also a main battery shut-off switch so that it can be turned off and the battery doesn't have any drain on it. This is the race pack dash in there. It hooks into many ECUs and easily hooks into the Holley Dominator, which is in here. And anything that the Holley or any ECU is monitoring, you can put on the screen. There's many different pages and configurations. And I can change it here with the push of a button, and you'll see it. Now it's given throttle, fuel, oil pressure. Now we got the odometer up, fuel flow, fuel pressure. So it's a nice little system, and it fits really well in there, right in the dash curve. Looks like it was made for this car. You look, there's pull to eject straps there. That's a safety release for the doors. It'll pull the pin out so the door can be opened in any emergency situation. It's not easy to do, but in an emergency, it will come out. And up top, we have the rear view monitor. It's not showing a good picture because the camera's hitting the inside of the tail, but it's a real nice image. And that stays on all the time, so you can tell. Always what behind you, along with the convex mirrors on the side. Has heat and AC. Vents are right there and adjustable. And the defroster ducts up there also. And a windshield. Steering wheel's removable, quick release. It's got the infinity power box wiring system. And down there is the master cell flashing and the power cell next to it there. And the infinity box system's a nice system. It'll self-monitor and tell you if there's any issues, and if there's a blown fuse, there'll be a light lit up next to it so you don't have to gas and pull them all out. So that's a real pretty interior of these cars. The tub is a carbon fiber tub, which this tub, when it was out, it got sprayed with the same clear that's used on the outside of the car. So it's got a little shinier than a clear gel coat.